Hey, Eskies, let's do part four. So we left off with Chris getting the point over there. They are currently on the near side.
You're staring at me.
So looking at what our opponent did right there, it almost looked like a horizontal. I almost guarantee that it's not set up to be a horizontal, but this person is clearing out. Well, this person goes for an upline, which works out
Not
pretty
me.
well. The issue is they would be going into an upline right here when we should be forcing flick or slightly flat. So no backhands, no throws going this way should be possible. But you're going to see
The
that
other
this
people
person
are
cut,
staring at me.
this person is able to get it from a backhand, which means we got broken. Make sure as a mark you're not getting broken.
Kayla, honor! Honor!
And looking at Pat right now, he's overcommitted to stopping the flick this side. But most teams' favorite thing to do when they're on the sideline is to do that upline cut. So instead of being there, we should be over here stopping the backhand.
No backhand, broken.
And then broken. So Chris has to recover and make sure that there's not another backhand.
No backhand.
And this is what we prefer. I'd rather get them to throw it over here than to continue it up the sideline this way. So Victoria, we still have the the excuse that you're new for now, but I want you to be over here, forcing them to throw that way, instead of where you are right now, which is forcing them to throw this way.
Down him! Stand up, Chris! Down!
Look at Chris's person that he's defending. He's defending this person right here. So this person is a dancer. If you look,
Down him! Stand up, Chris! Down!
2, 3, 4. So he goes here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how long does that take? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 4 or 5 stalls. So we do not want to be cutting like this person. If I was the coach for this person,
Down him! Stand up, Chris! Down!
I would have just taken away that extra cut right there. So
Down him! Stand up,
1,
Chris! Down!
2, and then just clear up. But how did we get the defense over here? So acknowledging that Victoria doesn't have the proper mark on, we have Patrick looking, making sure that he sees the field and has a good defense on his person. He's close enough that he could influence it. And he is able to look at the frisbee while his periphery is able to follow his person. So we always want to be able to look at both the frisbee and our person. One thing that scares me a little bit with, for example, Chris's defense over here is that right here he doesn't have vision of one of the two easily. And so with this person, he should have actually juked a little bit earlier. So as this person is stopping right here, well, Chris's head is like that. He should have gone now. But good heads up by Pat. And Kendra, it looks like your person's open. Look at all of the space between the two of you. But this is actually not a mistake, assuming our team defense is correct. Assuming that we're defending over here and that we're trying to make them throw that way. So this is usually a good job. It's just because the mark, which is why it's so important to set a proper mark, that it looks like Kendra does bad defense there. So, Kayla, nice cut. So ice, we know that from the back we're cutting.
That's not ice, but you know.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that, Kayla. And then even if you look at the athletic part of it, the first step, if we're looking at you from a side profile, some people will start to run. That's the head, standing straight up. But you drop your body, not this extreme, before you start to run. So I'm seeing your movement on the field improve a lot, Kayla. Now we just got to get the catching and throwing up to par so that our teammates can trust each other a bit more.
That's not ice, but
And Pat
you
has
know.
some space, it looks like. That is a great amount of space between you and your defender. But the throw
That's not ice, but you know.
starts coming back into Pat. So the space that he won was pointless because the throw should have ended up somewhere here. But because the throw is ending up in this area, the separation is useless. So I think it's Josh who's do that. Make sure you're leading them. Although I say make them float for Pat, let we don't want it to be that extreme. We got lucky there. Not too sure what happened. That was actually a backhand, if you noticed, instead of throwing on the other side, which would be a flick. We can't let that happen. And then your backhand, like you told me, your flick leg, your backhand is better. We're in offense. Yeah, we're in offense. Frisbee right now is closer to the sideline, and if you look at where everyone is, we're way, way, way too close. Everyone needs to push over here. So rather than being there, you should be on the opposite side of that circle. So Chantal, we're calling ice right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. You should just be shuffling back. And we should be having 4 or 3. Since this is the sideline one, I believe it's 4 who should be doing the in cut. And this person should be setting up for the next one. But Chantal, you going this way is wrong. Yeah, so Justin, I noticed that you felt like you should have gone, but then you stopped when you saw that Chantal was going. So I like that vision from you. Really good. And then you have Jaron cutting in, but instead of throwing it to him, you end up throwing it behind him. And this is a really good attempt. You end up missing it, but I like that hustle, Jaron. Lucas, it's a throwing error. That's fine. Just try to polish that up. Ooh, looks like it hurt. But Jaron's a tank, so he stands right back up. All right, where should we be? What are we prioritizing? Are we prioritizing the backhand or are we prioritizing the flick? We are prioritizing the no backhand. So right now your feet are like this, Justin. Instead, it should be more here, influencing the flick, but absolutely shutting down the backhand. Good. So this is a better position. Much better position. Let's look what the rest of the team is doing. So we have there, we have there, we have there. Esther, you're pretty far from your person. Oh, that's fine. That's okay. That throw. It's okay. Ooh, I just noticed. So this is an okay leash. But then the frisbee gets swung. Now this would be a very easy throw. This would be a very easy time to receive if they were to throw to her. And why does that happen? So you do a shoulder check, and if you look at your footwork, you start to shuffle this way. Oops, too extreme. You start to shuffle this way, while your person's momentum continues to travel that way, which leads to a little bit more separation than before. And then as they swing it, she's starts traveling this way, but you're still walking. So Thea, just be careful of that. And if the frisbee was over here, your position was good, but now that the frisbee's over here, it's out of place. So in ultimate, the state of the frisbee dictates where we stand, and we could be in a great position at one moment, but as they swing, 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 all of a sudden our defensive position is not as good. And then Esther's person catches it. How did your person get so much space? So that is a significant amount of space to give your person. And then it looks like you're jogging, Esther. Esther, definitely, I'm not sure if you're tired or if it's because there's no cleats on your shoes, but we definitely need to have more effort on the defensive end. So this is a huge amount of space, but that's okay. You're catching up to them. And because the frisbee's over here, as they curl in, your position is okay. You're able to catch up. Okay. But then you continue to go this way, and your person goes this way, and you don't have the athleticism to stop your momentum and follow quickly, leading to leading to a lot of space between you, the two of you. And then, so I'm going to edit this. So when I post it for you all, I'll probably have it at 1.2 by default. So it'll look like you're running faster, but you're moving pretty slowly here. So the boot camps that Ross is always talking about is something that we as a team definitely want to do. Even the people who consider themselves fast on our team, Jaron being able to beat me when I'm in Crocs. I'm not too sure if you could beat me when I'm in shoes. But even if you consider yourself fast, looking at me today, I was outrun by so many other players. So even if you think you're pretty good, you could always get better. All right, so Frisbee's over here. Thea. Oh, Thea, I was about to say you're in a good position. We don't want to move just yet, for the most part. Let them look at the cutters first. What was called? So, there's a couple of thoughts. When the frisbee is, let's make a field. When the frisbee is on the sideline, one thought is to get it back in the middle of the frisbee as soon as possible. That's basically what we did there. So, it's not a bad thing what you did right there, but for our team, I actually rather have us look to throw it to a cutter for the first, let's call it three. What is that? 3 to 5 stalls. If the frisbee's in the middle, we're going to look at the cutters for 5 to 7 stalls regularly. Because the time is shorter in this one and max is 8, we'll probably have 3 to 5 before the cutters in this format. But when you have 10, regularly, what did I say earlier? Let's say 4 to 7. I think I said 5 to 7 earlier, but when we have a stall count of 10, 4 to 7 is the range for cutters. 1 to 3, definitely cutters. Cutters. 4 to 7, we might have a cutters / handlers, depending on the context. And then 8 to 10, this is definitely for handlers or Hail Marys. So once again, Lucas, this hook cut is not a handler cut. I want to see you be doing a true upline, which might turn into a Berkeley, or a 7 cut. So what does that look like? Let's assume that we're going this way. Frisbee, you're over here. Upline, you're over here. Frisbee, Berkeley, you're over here. Frisbee, 7 cut. These are your fundamental 3 handler cuts. Handler. Oh no. My writing is pretty bad, but using a mouse is even worse. Hey, this one's not bad. Wait, why is there 2 T's? Let's look at what the rest of the team is doing. Okay, let's look at the stack. Why are we stacked up over here when the Frisbee's over here? Where should we be? We should be, let's make it green because this is where it would be correct. We should be over here. So whoever's at the front right now, I believe this is Chantal. It is your duty. You get the responsibility of telling where the stack should be, which also means you have to take ownership for when the stack is in the wrong spot. All right, so let's look at Justin. Does a cut, notices he's not going to get the Frisbee, comes back into the stack. Beautiful. That's really good vision, Justin. I'm really impressed with how your IQ is starting to develop for Frisbee. And then we have Jaron cutting in over here. And now you're too close. So you should have abandoned your cut probably over here. But you're too close to the Frisbee now. But you clear out. Good. Ooh, what happened there? So, we don't throw it to Lucas. So we fake, signal I'm not going to give it to you, which also signals Jaron to leave. That's why we fake. We pump fake to communicate, go away, I'm not throwing it to you. Or do another cut. And then Thea sees, oh, oh Thea, you're not pivoting again. Make sure you pivot for your backhands. But she sees, oh my gosh, Thea sees Esther open, tries to hit her, but it goes in front of Esther. And Chantal, good reaction, gets the low catch. Good job. Okay, now everyone starts to shuffle back. The Frisbee's right over here now. Lucas, I like that you're stepping back to give a little bit of space. But, uh-oh, where are you looking, Chantal? It looks to me that you're looking for a cutter. But, Chantal, you're a cutter. Well, mostly because you don't have the throwing ability. At the high school level, new people are cutters, and then handlers and cutters are differentiated later. So just because you're a cutter doesn't mean you're new. But all new people are default cutters, and then experienced players either become handlers or cutters. Sometimes we'll try to make a new person a handler, but especially if you're a new cutter, let's go NC. If you're a new cutter, you always look for a handler. Oh my god, these letters look nice. If you're a handler, never mind. If you're a handler, you could look for either another handler, a cutter, or a new cutter. If you're a cutter, for the most part, you're going to prioritize throwing to a handler. But depending how confident you are, I don't mind you looking at another cutter. Uh, but main priority is throwing back to handler. So Chantal, this is the bracket you're at right now. So you should not be looking for a cutter, which also means cutters. One, two, three. If we have a new handler, a new cutter, trying to throw it, you should not be trying to receive the frisbee. Don't make cuts trying to receive, especially deep cuts, because there's no point. You should just be setting up, set up, set up. So when a new cutter throws it to a handler, the handler could then throw it to you. Lots of arrows. So because a new cutter has it, that means that it's the handler's job to move. These people are setting up. These two are trying to get the frisbee right now. So let's see how long it takes for the handlers to start moving. Stall one, stall two, stall three, stall four, stall five, stall six, stall seven, stall eight, and down. So it took until stall six for Lucas to start moving. One, two, three, four, five, six. So Thea starts moving at stall six, and Lucas starts moving at stall 6.5. No, that is your job to get it from these players that are still learning how to throw on our team. And so Lucas, your hands being up right now, I understand where you're coming from, but ultimately, that is your fault. And then, why is that such a bad throw by them? Looks like Chantal redeemed by getting a hand block. Potentially a foul. I'm scared that it was a foul. Because if she's in the motion of throwing it and you hit the frisbee, it's a foul because she has not yet even come close to throwing it. Like she's winding up and you're behind and you put your hand on the frisbee, that's a foul. But if it's through the follow through of the throw, it wouldn't be a foul. But I feel like she was still winding up and you put your hand on the frisbee. They don't call it, so it doesn't matter. But we just have to be aware of that. So now we're on the sideline again. Oh, so we called sub. Um, I think I thought it was a turnover, but I mean, you lost the point, but you didn't. So most of the time, Lucas, you were picking it up even after turnovers, but not on this one. That's fine. I love that fast reaction to start sprinting to the sideline, but we cancel it. But the nice thing was, when we called that, it looks like lots of people, other than Justin over here, is starting to set up their stack too close to the frisbee. And unintentionally, by calling subs, we have everyone giving, other than Esther, slow reaction, we have everyone creating space.
Get open! Chantal, go deep!
Nice catch. Funny thing is, Pat was saying that we're practicing this functionality, but this Lucas to Jaron connection, not many opportunities for that. And it ends up getting a point. All right, so Vincent, we're having you as a cutter. We're not going to have you as handler, which means Tiago, one of our new handlers, should be the one handling it. So, Vincent, here's a bit of athleticism advice. So, Frisbee's up here. You are battling your person right here. Your hands are already up a little bit, and they're like really starting to get up here. When the Frisbee is still, where's the Frisbee's over here? When the Frisbee is still high, we want to have our hands low so that we could swing our hands up. If our hands are already high, put your hands up and jump. Now put your hands down and use your arms to swing up. You're going to get a lot more height. That guy was pretty close to posterizing you. But you got a pretty good read, and now you have a hand on it. But what happens? You have a pretty decent fruit, Vincent. Magnets are still developing, and you're definitely trying to follow through. Yeah, just no magnets yet. That's fine. We'll develop that as we go. But I like the effort there. Vincent gets it back for the bad throw. Tiago, you should be over here, not over here.
Get open!
Kayla, when we cut diagonally in or diagonally deep. What you did right there is a horizontal cut. That's a terrible arrow. But we don't want to be doing horizontal cuts in ultimate. And then you kind of curl out. And then you come cut in again. So we got to develop your cutting routes. But usually, Michaela, as a cutter, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have our handlers over here. 1, 2. Let's make a few defenders. They're forcing us flick. The path that you should be taking, Kayla, is either let's say you're this person right here. This is you. You should either be cutting in or deep like this, but we're not going to be making cuts like this. So these blue arrows are good cuts. This green arrow is not a good cut. This is a bad cut. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, that's true. For example, for our more experienced players, let's use this light blue. The front of the stack can make these horizontal cuts. But anyone behind definitely will not be making a horizontal cut. Another example of horizontal cuts would be after a 7 cut. That's a horizontal movement. Oops. What would be another example of a horizontal movement? There's a lot of horizontal movements when we're in the end zone. Let's say that's the end zone line. But once again, it's the person at the front of the stack. It's not usually these people. But very rarely do we want to move horizontally in ultimate.
I don't know what I'm recording anymore. I'm so confused.
So Frisbee is over there on the side.
I'm so confused.
Frisbee does a big loopy throw. So Kendra, I think that the biggest issue with your defense is that you're often in the area and you're often in a decent position, not the best position, but for some reason it seems like you're always missing your opportunities to hit it. I think it's reading. I think you need to take a literacy class for reading. So skip literacy test, come to Frisbee. um, but also a bit of aggressiveness. I think just wanting the Frisbee would probably be the biggest thing. Not something I could coach, just something that I've noticed. Good job getting back over here. And even though it's flat, so let's look back over here. Let's keep in mind that I don't mind if we have a flat force as long as we absolutely shut down this side. If they ever look like they're throwing the backhand, we fully commit to the backhand. And if they try to throw a flick, we're like, okay, try to throw the flick. I'll respect it. But I'm not going to jump it like I'm going to jump your backhand. And then
I don't know what
Michaela.
I'm recording anymore. I'm so confused.
Who's your person? Okay, your person's there. Your person gets quite a distance between you, so we need to make sure that we're much closer. And then
I'm so confused.
Vincent, you're close to your person, and I see your hands trying to swat into the lane. Really good job. So, what that tells us is if we are cutting close to the handler, opponent defensive players can try to influence this throw. So, we should not be cutting close to this player. Otherwise, it allows opponent Vincent's to mess up the throw. Good defense, bad offense.
No. Turn over. Turn over. I mean, on.
I don't know if it was a stall count there, but those are Hail Marys. That behind the back flick, that's definitely really hype, and all that. But and it happened in a real professional game, but those are Hail Marys. So don't get too excited about doing those. If it's like stall 7, stall 8, and it's up to 8, stall 7, go ahead, whatever. It's a Hail Mary anyways. But don't have too much fun.
It's up. Yeah, there we go.
Nice defense, Pat.
I don't think I got that. I'm very sorry. Chris, clear. Yeah.
So, what is that? That throw right there, really nice. Um, Pat to Chris, and that's why we want to come closer to the middle. This person did not respect you enough, and you got a free throw. And this should 100% be hitting Josh, who is our handler. And Chris, you are not a cutter, you are a new cutter. Um, my definition of a new cutter is kind of loose, but anyone who is a new cutter equals they don't really have an ability to throw a ball. That is the majority of our team, to be fair. And we are a predominantly grade 10 team. And even our grade 12s. You've only had how many years? 2 years of experience. So it's not a knock when, like, 2 years of experience. Technically, you're all grade 10. Even, like, Esther and Ken. But this should definitely be hitting Josh.
What shot? No.
This is a practice at the end of the day. So whenever we're having these practices, I do not mind you making what I call good mistakes. So that's okay that you did that. Oh no, I did that. It's just I want to make sure that you know what your role is by the time we get to games that matter. Okay, good position right there. You gave your person a leash. But then you're on the outside of your person. You should have taken the inside. Pat is in a good position, looking at the field. I'm sure he's aware that his person is literally just here. So as long as you're conscious of that, that's good. Good job, Victoria. Doing a great job sticking to your person. Thea? Oh, Kayla. How did your person get that? So they swang the frisbee. Frisbee's over there because Josh didn't take the inside lane. Not the worst position. Definitely could have got a play on it. Job getting to here, but it should be more of a force flick. Like it looks very much like you're doing flat. We want to be forcing flick there. They throw the flick anyways. And then Kendra, you should be attacking this. It looks like you get one step in. See the frisbee. You get one step in. But the person you're defending, it's two steps in. That's she got her eyes up on it first. But definitely a little bit more aggressiveness there. Luckily they don't get it.
I should join intramurals. Watching gets me too excited that I like start to shake.
Okay, we have ice. Pat's gonna go that way, someone's gonna come in over here. And the limit that they're allowed to cut is about in this area. They shouldn't go too much deeper than that. Oh wait, ice. I was thinking pipeline.
Excited that I like start to shake.
So this isn't Pat's cut, although Pat is great at finding these open spaces. And I'm guessing he noticed that no one. I'm guessing he noticed nobody was cutting in and decided to take ownership. And it's a good amount of distance. You catch it about here. Yeah. About there. It's a good amount of distance. And then, like I said, Kendra, good job, you didn't go too far in, so now your job is to clear out. You throw it into a person. Not sure what you see. And then you get punished for your bad throw. It's fine, it happens. That's just a bit of vision, a bit of finesse with your throw.
I'm like shaking with excitement.
And if you hear Eugene, like, your coaches just get so excited watching this game. We just can't help but want to play more.
Who's on? I see like.
Oh, so this throw right here is very useless and actually hurts our team. So, Michael, you and Vincent are about the same level of handlers. So Vincent throws it to you. Because you were open. And then he runs behind you, and you give it back to him over here. What did we gain? Well, we gained the advantage of being on the sideline, which is not an advantage. So Vincent, if this was to happen, you should have cut this way. At least we get yardage. Even if we're on the sideline, at least we're closer to our goal. But what happened there was disadvantageous in so many ways. And Michael, if you're open, look at this space. Go for this upline. Would have been even more advantageous.
Who's on? I see like.
At least you clear out. Good job. But then you clear out over here. That's not a handler spot. The handler spot is over here. You end up getting it through a banana cut. Happened to work here. Still is not good. I like that throw there, though. That was a good throw. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Lissy? You are on the sideline, backpedaling. No. Where should you be, Blissy? You should be in the stack. How do we move in ultimate? We do not backpedal. Kayla trying to go for it. Vincent's trying to go for it. I want to see that vertical. I want to see you two jump for that. This person put their body on the line. Good job. You're not on my team, but I'm still impressed. Alright, so it took 4 breakdowns to do the first video. Let's see how much it takes to do. Well, it's still the same video, but the first game. Let's see how much it takes to do all 3 games. We'll cut it off here. we'll look at their senior team on the next one.